Now we're on to remotes.
I need 2 volunteers.
Ooh.
There you go. Clear one.
You might need to stand a little closer. Sorry. What? Just press one person press the. Okay. You accidentally triggered a hotkey to skip the tutorial. I hope this.
That may be the first world that requires CPR.
People on a lot of workouts playtesting.
I know, you guys. So that was crazy fun. I mean, that was exactly what round 3 is all about. Super crazy, happy, fun time. They said it in a place that you can stop now. And you said it in a time and a place that was kind of timeless. It was princesses and knights, and there's honor, and the balloons seemed a little thematically inconsistent, but you made it work. So some of the things, first of all, looked lovely, nice, simple look and feel. It was clear to tell which player was which on which side of the screen and what their status was. Of course, they shouldn't be able to accidentally hit a hotkey. So, yeah.
Programming error.
Yeah, fix that. The instructions were beautiful and elegant. It showed the device. It had a picture of the thing that's in your hand. So instead of just saying, turn this or lift this, it had it exactly, and it turned and lifted it as you were expected to. So that immediately made a nice connection in super simple animation. Just the thing, you moved it up and down and up and down. So it was super clear right from the beginning to understand what was going to happen. And it's one thing to have just a race, but then you added the secondary element, and then you can pop the other guy's balloons with ridiculously big hatchety things. So you had a sweet, pleasant, pretty balloon, and then these giant medieval axe coming out, which was nice. And in the beginning, they both kind of got that. They both were super focused on pumping. And I think, did you shoot first?
Yeah. Yes.
Why did you shoot first?
Because I wanted to obstacle this.
Because it was a tight race?
He was getting ahead of me.
Okay, it was strategic. But once you started, what happened?
And I started.
Yeah, it was a hatchet. Hell was unleashed. You just started, and then it was fun because then you were consciously making choices between pumping and throwing. And as an audience member, the interest curve went way up because now you were picking and choosing. I wasn't 100% clear on the balloons on either side that were getting bigger. What was that indicating?
That was just an on-screen GUI to show how you're inflating. So how it shows the rate at which you're inflating the balloon. So basically how good you are at pumping.
So if my balloon got bigger faster, I was probably pumping?
Yep.
Okay. And it seemed like it took a lot of balloons to raise me. I mean, my armor seemed very heavy.
Yeah. We had some playtesting where you needed a few balloons. And what ended up happening is people started getting out too early. And so I changed it last night. So it's sort of fun at the beginning where everyone's just rapidly pumping to start out.
Yeah.
And so
there's
a little bit of anticipation that gets built up.
Yeah, well, off I go. What was the music they played just before it started? They played a little bit of music. No, but during the pumping bit.
Charge.
Right, they played Charge, which is a classic. We're getting ready, something's happening. So it helped cue me into the fact that something fun was about to happen, or anticipation. Yay, off I go. And did the Knights celebrate when they landed? At some point they were doing this. Why were they doing that?
It was we tried to make a pump. There are like 2D knights with limbs that move around, so we tried to make a pumping animation, but they also have a throwing animation. What ended up working is they could look like
Yeah, I thought they were celebrating when they were doing well.
That's a great interpretation.
That's a great answer. When I saw it, I tried to connect it. I'm like, wait, why is he celebrating because he's higher or lower? But it seemed like a story element. But yeah, keep in mind that sometimes your animation can be misinterpreted. For the record, they did clear this motion. This is not accidental obscenity. They worked on several options, and this was the one. So at one point, you were really high.
Yeah.
And just because you turned and shot Dickie. And the class went bananas. Why was that funny?
Because he was already so far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it just, in general, one of the things that's key to humor is that it's unexpected. It's not funny when somebody trips, and yet we tend to laugh when somebody, mostly because our brain responds with laughter when something unexpected happens. And he, was a man on a mission, he was super high, and then just because, boom, he shoots an axe down at Dickie. And that was funny, because it was unexpected, it was a bit of a comedic break. It showed that you were less concerned with just winning at all costs, and you were perfectly willing to just shoot, throw an axe, or maybe help the experience by throwing a little comedy. So thanks for that. And what's interesting is, by the end, you were super close. Now, was that real, or did you fudge that?
That was real.
Yeah, I don't know, because maybe that almost cost you the game when you threw that axe at Dickie, because in the end, you were really close.
Yeah, I was hoping it would pop more balloons. Yeah,
Poorly played.
We noticed in playtesting, with the weapon popping, people sometimes would get so distracted by it, but it's a balance. You gotta keep on pumping your balloons because they do deflate over time. So you need to keep on pumping just to keep momentum and speed up. So I think Anthony got a little sidetracked, and that allowed Dickie to make a valiant charge at the end.
Yeah, that was honor. There was nobility in both halves. And then it ended, and I had a black screen. Why was my black screen up for so long?
That's the Unity moving loading issue that I didn't solve in time. So it takes a little while to load up. So I created that pause. It's a little abrupt. But.
And well, I knew something was happening because we still had the soundtrack, and also you were sitting and waiting, and they were standing and waiting. They knew it wasn't over yet either. But that was really one of the only disconnects that flowed very smoothly otherwise. Cute signage on the way up. No, seriously, still go higher. It's up this way, so some nice visual interest.
I'd like to thank a lot of people in BBW for helping with those.
Thank them.
They're very creative people coming up with interesting puns.
And did you have a lot of playtesting?
Yes, we had a lot of people come playtest.
I think.
Let's linger on that. What did you learn from playtesting, and what did you change?
Well,
first of all, let's thank Chirag for not having cannons, lasers, interactive ferrets. He just seconds straight. Well done, Chirag. Yeah, and Michael especially thanks you for not having to rig your laser-activated ferret.
Chirag was great then. The whole team was great.
So, at what point did you have the primary mechanic working, and what did playtesting teach you?
So I had the primary mechanic working on Wednesday, and the rest of up until past midnight, we were tweaking that a lot, because what we got is, after we cleared it with you, this was fun, but too much of this is really, really tiring. And there's a version, I think Ken and Anisha played, where it went on for like 5 minutes. And it was like 5 minutes and near the end, people just, it's like, I don't even care anymore. It's just like,
Didn't anyone figure out they could do it with just 1 minute?
Yeah, after a while, people were like, okay, just do this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But we made sure, so I worked really hard at making sure people couldn't cheat the system. So you couldn't really do this or...
Was there any way to encourage me to try and shoot a hatchet over? To try and break up that motion? If you're worried about me being tired?
I mean, I think, if you get tired, you have another option of motion so that you can take a break from.
So what did you change when you learned that was exhausting? Did you build in brakes of any sort? Or?
We made pumping a lot quicker. We made it a little bit easier, and we also made you just move a lot faster. And also, we played around a lot with the speeds at which you moved up. So that way, even though you could get far away, you can never get so far away the other person would feel like we made sure people stayed relatively close to each other based on the gameplay.
So you can always see both players?
Yeah, you could always see both players. And that way people could always feel like there's a chance to catch up, and then that would encourage them to use the weapon and that sort of thing.
Excellent. Thanks. I think one of the most exciting things was the super close ending. The fact that, were you guys tired? I mean, at any point did you want to put that thing down? Okay, so I think you timed it well in terms of, clearly there's physical effort. You both were huffing and puffing like the big bad wolf when you sat down. But it was doable, which is nice. So, really that black bit in the between was really the only thing that pulled me out of the experience. Otherwise, I knew what to do. It was fun. There was a lot of actually strategy involved, which is neat. So that is, we might put that online as, this is what round 3 is. Thank you. Oh yeah, and fix that hotkey.
Yep.
I like the snowman at the beginning.
Oh, thank you. Did you see any other visual hints?
That's all I saw.
Were you hiding stuff in there?
Yeah, we had a couple of Easter eggs.